The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. After the championship race in 2025, area iRacing sat dormant with an unknown future. We waited and waited for the announcement of when we would take to the track next, and finally received it in the form of a fun yearly fundraising event. What fun way to bring in 2026 and hitting the dirt with the Dirt Street Socks with all of your area iRacing favorites to raise money for a great cause. Well, that's what's on the docket today, and glad to have all of you along for the ride with us. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for today's coverage again of the area iRacing 5th annual fundraiser event here from the dirt track at Charlotte for a night full of action. Gonna be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth, and if you watched us last season, you will certainly remember the name Hunter Sleppy here helping me out with some of the color commentary. So Hunter, I think you've been here before helping with these, I would imagine so, but always fun to bring dirt track to PTR TV, and again, raising money for a good cause.
Of course, it's always for a good cause. That's the point of the fundraiser event. You got to raise enough money, and the goal is obviously to achieve more than what was done in the previous event, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was around $1,400. So this one's going to be a little difficult to kind of establish where, like how much money we're going to make this year, because there's a direct link that you can go to the Lake Norman Humane Society. The link will be, I believe it's in the chat for both YouTube and Twitch. You can make a donation of any amount, and then there's also another way to donate. I'm not sure where that is. I'll have to get confirmation on that.
I believe you could also donate directly to the league, of which there will be one big lump sum payment sent on behalf of area iRacing. And again, Lake Norman, of course, if you're watching this live, which many of you are, which thank you for doing that, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. The Lake Norman Society was a big foundation that Greg Biffle was highly engaged with and supported, and of course we lost him in that tragic plane crash last month. So again, kind of more near and dear and fresh on everyone's mind. So again, if you could certainly help with that, all would appreciate towards that great cause. But for what the night brings, Hunter, a street stock race at a dirt track. You know some of these guys, and there's some names I haven't seen, but just in the name of racing itself, what are we expecting here today on the clay?
That's a very good question. We don't really race too much on here. We had VDRA, the Virtual Dirt Racing Association. They were here last season in this not similar. This is a street stock. I think it was a dirt late model for those series, but this is a street stock, so it's a car that everyone, but the majority of the field has already. And yeah, some of these names here, like Jacob Cannon, not too familiar with him. There's some former drivers here from way back in seasons past, like Eli Green and Christian DeBoer. They're currently in the session. There's all the names you see. Carter Coop, it's a name familiar with dirt, both in the virtual world and in the real world. He is currently the fastest. And then we have a Greg Biffle tribute from none other than Joseph Swan. And yes, that is the brother of Ryan Swan. I believe this is his first area event.
Of course, you see the moniker there underneath the number, Be Like Biff. That is what of course, now famous Cletus McFarland, Garrett Mitchell set that moniker alive put it on his ARCA car that you'll see at the Daytona ARCA race. Just means be nice, care about other people, be beyond just yourself. That's kind of the Be Like Biff moniker that I'm going to take more heed as my to myself. And here's Andrew Ayer's 18th spot. We have, I think, right at the line, Hunter, and I know in the pre-race where we were learning about what we were going to be doing here today, there is 24 making the feature, so I don't think anyone's going to get sent home here today. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Or one guy's going to get sent home, unfortunately. But we got heats, we got an LCQ, we got all this fun stuff here tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's Brad Slaughter there. He's obviously in the number 8, loves racing on the dirt track at Charlotte. You can tell that he's got some pace in that number 8, although he just got jumped by Jacob Cannon, jumping up to the 2nd spot on the leaderboard.
Up with a 1791, and of course the dirt. For those who maybe don't venture to this side of the service, which I'm sure a lot of the drivers here in this race don't, and they're just here for the fun of it. The dirt racing here, the track, very dynamic, so what you see now is not going to be what you see, what you feel through heat number 1, heat number 2, and getting all the way to the feature. Well, of course, I don't know if they're doing track resets and reprepping the track. Perhaps you may or may not know that, but typically the dirt surface dynamic, you might be chasing the top, you might have to slow ride the bottom, Hunter. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, it's so dynamic. You can run bottom, but I think most of the guys are going to be able to run around the top, try to get the momentum off corner exit. Excuse me, as we're looking through some more drivers in the field. Again, some of these guys, they haven't been here in a while, but they're making their presence felt. Alan Elwood, he's a part of this one. Danny Ware, haven't heard from him in quite some time. Nico Garcia's here. Mentioned Christian DeBoer, Ben Pierce, Ryan Nowicki, Forrest Smith. We got a lot of guys here, and all for a great cause. So I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be able to go on top and what these heat races are going to entail.
Yeah, we have as our race details. Usually we do this on the grid, but we'll do it now as Tyler Jackson, I think, going P1 there. 8-lap heats, 4 from each will advance. The 10-lap LCQ is there, and again, based on what we see, one driver will be getting the boot, so that LCQ will happen and will have some sustenance, and then we'll have a 60-lap feature. Caution laps do not count in the heat races, however, they will count in the main event, but that's going to be the end of qualifying. And again, if just PTR TV, if you are watching this race, we still, as you saw, maybe our little teaser, there is a little inkling of the future of what area iRacing is to be. And if you want to join us, because I think, I don't know if I'll get in trouble, but we'll probably be a part of it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff here. But we are heading down, I believe, for heat race number 1 right now. Starting grid for that as follows. Tyler Jackson, we got Ryan Swan in 2nd. 3rd place here in the heat will be Brad Slaughter, with then Ryan Olson, Joseph Swan, Christian DeBoer, and then Jeffrey Wilson, shotgun in the heat in 7th.
Yeah, it should be a fun heat, and this is to determine position for the main event. Again, 60 laps, so 8 laps, not a whole lot, but this is like a little sprint, kind of a little feel for the car and what it's going to do. It's on the short run or on the long run. We'll have to see.
We'll see what happens. Again, 8 laps, so not a lot of time to be had. Top 4 will transfer. The other 3 will have to get in, so we'll always watch that number there, that magic cutoff transfer number. The weather here from Charlotte, I will say, and I know dirt is obviously different than asphalt, that's kind of obvious, but Hunter, have you ever seen a track temp that low before?
No, 54. I have not.
54. So this is
that's about the air temp here. Actually, a little bit chillier, but
this is
no,
ice
I've
dirt.
not seen it for a track. Yeah.
I don't know how to combine the words ice and dirt together, but put that together. That's more or less what we have here today. What that does to the physics of the track dynamics, well, that's also another good question that I don't have a dirt science degree here in this side of the world. I do know some terminology, and I can have some fun with the calls, but we'll find out together how this race will certainly progress. Track surface will continue on and progress through the night. We will not be watering it and re-prepping it as the night progresses. Tyler Jackson getting ready for the 2026 Area iRacing preliminary season to get underway. Let's go racing here at the Charlotte Dirt Track. Heading down side by side through the backstretch into turn number 3, ripping right on that inside lane, right on the tires is the 8, but the 20th Swan already proven that the top is pretty advantageous. Watch him sideways, trying to get the momentum off corner exit. Will the 8 give him a lane? He will. We'll go door to door for the lead here. There goes the slider to the inside, and what will the 20 do on exit?
He's going to get that momentum off 4, and it's going to be close at the line, but Tyler Jackson got it right there. Brad Slaughter behind, just watching the battle unfold in front of him. Meanwhile, behind, Joseph Swan has jumped up to the 5th spot. Saw Ryan Olsen there at the start. He faded towards the back all the way on the outside, and now Swan's going to try and cross him over off of 4.
Looking to the inside of the racetrack, but is the momentum going to be there? Will he do a slider? Not enough to clear. The 8 will get the momentum, pull door to door, maybe a little contact off the corner, and a little connection issue. Hopefully that doesn't persist, but they will remain in that spot. Jackson will have it, that cutoff spot. Swan pretty comfortable, up by about a half a second or so on 5th place Ryan Olsen. Yeah,
they're seeing some blinking in and out there, and that's not going to be ideal for Tyler Jackson. He's trying to hope that he can make it for another 3 laps when they come across the stripe. Ryan Swan still trying to reel him back in, and Ryan Olsen still trying to hang on to 5th from Christian DeBoer.
Trying to hang on to 5th right now, and up front that top 3, I will say the top 4 are starting to get a little bit close together. Slaughter starting to be a little bit more aggressive, and whoa, 66 nearly took a death swipe out on Slaughter. Luckily was able to miss that, caused him to slow up a little bit with 2 laps to go. Not enough for Olsen to get too much closer.
Slaughter's in the Swan sandwich, if you will. Ryan in front, Joseph in the back, and Joseph trying to take another swipe at him. And we're coming across the stripe for the final lap of heat number 1. Tyler Jackson with a comfortable lead over Ryan Swan.
Yeah, that bottom of the racetrack seeming to be advantageous, at least in its fresh track state. But coming off of 3 and 4 here, Jackson will get himself into the feature. Huge dive from Slaughter. I think he's scared Swan, but they will remain in position. And Swan will get that transfer spot. Bottom 3 headed to the LCQ.
Well, that was a fun little heat. Let's do it again.
Yep, we'll get every race that goes by, we gain a little bit more knowledge as to what's going to happen. And track will change just a little bit, so these drivers now know what to expect. It's always better to go out second because you kind of know what not to do and what to do. But let's see what that grid will be. It's going to be Carter Coop with Ryan Zabot, hopefully I'm saying that right, in second. Third, we got Dylan Cool and Easton Reedner in 4th. Doing the best we can, folks. Garrett Grant, that's a name I remember. Ryan Nowicki as well. We get 6 here in heat race number 2.
Yeah, Garrett with the Valvoline paint scheme, similar-esque of Kyle Larson, coming off a championship season. That's his favorite cup driver right there. And we actually went to Charlotte back in May. We got to the track on, I believe it was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, right when qualifying was coming to an end. And me and Garrett, we're both Larson fans, so we both knew that, oh man, that's Kyle Larson that's going on. We could just tell. So we ran underneath the tunnel of the track to get in and saw a lap of Kyle Larson finishing up, but it wasn't good enough for pole, but that was a pretty cool moment. So yeah, we'll see if he can channel his inner Kyle Larson in him. Remember, Larson pretty good on the dirt. See if he can channel that and try to race his way into the heat.
Yeah, or
from the heat to the main.
Yeah, with only 6 drivers, 2 will be getting that boot to the LCQ. So we'll see. It wasn't too big of a cutoff fight in heat number 1, but certainly that can change here in heat number 2. Coming off of corner number 4 here, the dirt track at Charlotte. Let's get heat number 2 underway. Really tight and consolidated here off the jump. Zabot with that outside lane in the Hooters car. Let's go 3 abreast in turn number 1.
Whoa, so tight coming off of turn 2, and they're still going to be fanning out 3 deep, going through 3 and 4, and it's Zabot going to get the lead clear of Carter Coop, and on that outside, Easton Reedner coming across, trying to take 3rd away from Dylan Cool.
Trying to get that outside lane, but to the bottom is that blue car. Again, Dylan Cool trying to get something happening, but he's kind of boxed down there and struggling to keep his exit momentum. And just behind that, there's your Garrett Grant Kyle Larson car. He needs to make something happen. to break through that cutoff gap as they'll go side by side for that 4th spot. Up front, Zabo hanging on over Coop, who's diving it in just a little bit closer.
Yeah, Carter knows a thing or two about racing virtually on the dirt and in the real world, so he's got to be one to watch out for whenever we get into the main event. He's closing in on Zabo slowly but surely, and there's Dylan Cool in the blue 83 trying to keep Garrett Grant at bay, and then Ryan Nowicki trying to ride the coattails of Grant to stay in it.
Garrett Grant is trying to figure out where to go, what to do, if he can make something happen, because he's right there just trying to make something happen. You can see the wheels just all which direction, turn right to go left, in the words of what was it, the Hudson Hornet, if I get my Cars references proper. But 3 to go, already in its waning stages is this heat. Ryan Nowicki has fallen significantly off the pack, so he's going to have to channel his inner Christopher Bell if he's going to get himself transferred through the LCQ.
Yeah, pretty tame heat so far. Still some single file action, and there's a little send from Zabo and Carter Coop trying to get underneath. Not close enough, though. Only 2 laps left in the second heat.
2 laps to go, and Garrett Grant has lost the pace on that transfer spot, but it's not stopping the 83 from trying to get third. Remember, this will kind of transfer you into the feature, so the higher you finish, the better you'll start the feature with, as we have 1 to go.
Final lap in the second heat. It's Ryan Zabo still holding off Carter Coop. Will Coop send it into turn 3? Not quite. Easton Riener and Dylan Cool, they're going to be able to make it through A-OK. Checker flags out. Ryan Zabo wins the second heat at the Charlotte Dirt Track.
Yep, and it will be Grant and Nowicki getting relegated to the LCQ. But now let's see who will take their stab for the next one. Heat number 3 just among us right now. And let's give you that starting lineup. We have another 6 gritter here. Of course, 6 times 4 plus 1, that would make sense. Starting this one, we got Jeremy Vaughn with Dawson Miller in the 41, going to be outside of the front row. And then row number 2 will consist of Alan Elwood. Jacob Bell, the boss man here, he's going to be in the 4th spot. Nico Garcia and Andrew Ayers going to be 6th here in their 3rd of 4 heats.
We get 4 of these tonight, and there's Dawson Miller in the 47. He was sporting his little throwback scheme earlier on in the week, and he had an okay car in practice time-wise, so we'll see what old Dawson Miller can do in the 47. And then he mentioned Jacob Bell putting this whole thing together. This was actually in the works for months, but we didn't have we didn't know which charity to go for. And then the Lake Norman Humane Society came aboard because we traveled to an Airbnb in Lake Norman, so that kind of made it better for us. And again, fun night planned ahead, and each one of these drivers that are in the field tonight, whether they're racing or not, because we do have one that might be going home, was a $5 donation, so we're already off to a good start there. We've seen some donations come across the board. I think we got one from Brad not too long ago, circling through our chat here, but the 3rd heat is about to get underway.
And of course, that QR code I just put on the bottom right of the screen, leave that up for a minute. If you screenshot that on your phone, or if you're watching on your television, you can take a shot of that, head to the website, and that's a direct link to donate. Also, the chat and the description will also get you there. But the heat number 3 underway. It's going to be Vaughn to the inside. Outside, 47 of Dawson Miller as coming through the corner here. And who's that ripping the bottom of the racetrack? Is that Jacob Bell? No, that's Alan Elwood in the 5.
Yeah, don't count out Alan Elwood. He's got some great paint schemes, and he's also a fantastic driver as well. See if he can stab it through on dirt. Jacob Bell, though, 3 wide middle, door banging Dawson Miller. Here comes Nico Garcia right behind, and then Andrew Ayers almost spun out, coming out too.
This may be the juiciest cutoff that we've had, as the 47 and Miller will kiss the wall, but in these street stocks, they can take a hit or two, so that's not going to be too catastrophic. He'll have to get himself back up on the pony here, and as you can see, he's got all those spots right to his direct line of sight here, but Jeremy Vaughn trying to pull away, running the top of the racetrack, seeming to be the place to be, and oh no!
There's Dawson!
I don't think we're going to get a caution because he's so far away from the rest of the field. If we got one, caution laps do not count, and I think, yeah, we're going to stay green. He's going to have to just race his way through in the LCQ.
Yeah, I could tell from his entry into 3, he was setting in a little bit too deep and then just too much to corral. Unfortunate for him. And then Andrew Ayers also a second party in that incident. Nowhere to go, so he's not going to be able to close in on Nico Garcia unless they do some door banging up here. But we're coming up on 3 to go. Jacob Bell still trying to get around Alan Elwood. Elwood keeping it tight on the bottom. Bell in the wall, actually. And here comes Garcia looking to take third away.
Yep, again, all these spots do certainly help out in your endeavors to start the feature in a better position. So you want to make something happen. You want to do the best you can to get yourself not in the hornet's nest for that feature event. But Jeremy Vaughn up by 1 second. This may be the most dominant heat performance we've seen. You're going to love the branding there, the Chevy treat stock body here coming off, and Barney will put the white out.
Yeah, one more lap to go. A dominating run for Jeremy Vaughn. Elwood in second, Igor Garcia third. We've seen Jacob Bell go up the track quite a bit over the last couple of laps. Once you get up in the marbles, it's kind of hard to regain focus for about a straightaway or two. But nonetheless, off of turn 4, Jeremy Vaughn, car number 3, wins heat number 3 at Charlotte.
Jeremy Vaughn will transfer through. That should be a third starting position for him for our feature event. That will go off in about maybe 5 or so minutes time. But now we'll get situated for the final heat race in just a jiffy here as everybody completes their session. There it goes. Clicking on over heat number 4. Let's get that one started up. Oh, not that starting grid. Our heat starting grid as follows. We got Jacob Cannon on the front row with Eli Green in second. We got Justin Anasogak with Danny Ware going to roll off in the 4th position. And then our final 2 for this heat going to be Ben Pierce and Forrest Smith.
All right, another quick 6 here, and I believe this is the final heat before the last chance qualifier. Some names here that I'm not familiar with. I think the only one is Jacob Cannon, actually. Ben Pierce, I'm aware of. Forrest Smith as well. Danny Ware, haven't seen him in too long. Same with Eli Green. I think it's actually been longer for Eli Green, but previous area winner across the Cup Pro Series and Truck Series. And then Justin Anasogak, all the way from Alaska, stopping by to have a good time and join us in raising money for a good cause.
I gotta love the, what was his name again? It was the Alaskan Assassin. Is that what you deemed him?
Yep.
The Alaskan Assassin. I don't know what time it is in Alaska. It's 9 o'clock Eastern. I'd have to imagine it's at least, 5 o'clock, 4 hours back? Something like that. So
I think it's more than 4. It might be 6 hours. 6 or 7, maybe.
Yeah. Pick a map up. Yeah, I do not know. But either way, we appreciate him being here. And it's always a fun one to watch there in the series that we covered last season, the Florida State Builders Pro Series and the Area Truck Series. I don't remember if that one was sponsored or not, but that went back a little bit too far. But we got Cartoon Network on the front row with Eli Green, and then we have the 01/1 of Jacob Cannon. We'll see how that transfer spot's going to be. Where has it? Pierce and Smith are going to want it here. They're starting to fan out on the back straightaway, getting pace car turns into the very awkward pit road here at Charlotte Dirt Track through the middle lanes. But let's get ourselves going. 8 more laps. Waiting for the 01 to fire off. Waiting for Barney to let him have it. There it is. Let's see what we got. Big wiggle up there through the 3rd, 4th spot. That's our 3rd and 4th. That's Ware. That's Anasogak. National Guard of Anasogak down to the bottom of the track. And there's Forrest Smith all the way in the loose stuff. That may be the lane later in the race, but it's a little bit loose. And right now there's still grip on the bottom of the track. But as you can see, the one of Cannon making that top, making that banking come through.
Tell you what, Forrest Smith is making that work, though. He's door-to-door with Anasogak. He got in the wall. Spoke too soon about that, but Ben Pierce trying to follow in his tire tracks, but he's still got a strong run on the outside of Anasogak, claiming that bottom.
Got to watch out in turn number 4 when you do that, because as you can see, those are the in and out lanes of the racetrack. So when you rip the fence here in turn number 4, here's an opening that will cut the car the wrong way. Got to pinch it off the wall. That will be something I'm sure somebody butchers here today. But there's Anasogak to the bottom of the track underneath Danny Ware. And again, Jacob Cannon, he is just, I said 1 second was the biggest lead we've seen. I think he may be trying to eclipse that.
Trying to. Eli Green keeping a strong wheel on that outside lane. Justin Sogak going to finally venture up to the outside lane. Found the gap between Danny Ware and Forrest Smith. Smith still trying, and Ben Pierce all up in the wall. You cannot Ross Chastain it. You cannot Hail Melon through the turns here. It's not going to work for you.
Yeah, not advantageous at all. Again, that's the opening right there, that shot that you have to watch out for. And that will certainly get you askew. But in 1 and 2, you can push it all the way up to the fence. We'll get a little bit of a cushion, perhaps. But, you know, I don't know if we have enough cars, enough left. I think that top is really going to come in strong, and we'll have to see some haymakers come in, which is the dirt verbiage of a dive bomb. But we'll see what happens here. Cannon has that 1 second lead. Here's our cutoff, and it's juicy enough. I mean, Smith is, I don't know if he's within send it range, but he's within range where Anna Sogak could look in the mirror and make a mistake.
Gonna have one more lap to find a way around him. The white flag's out. Jacob Cannon, 1.3 seconds ahead of Eli Green, with Danny Ware close nose and tail behind him. And then Anna Sogak has the final transfer spot before Forrest Smith in 5th.
Up down to the inside is Danny Ware underneath Green. That's just for a better feature spot. But here comes the 15 of Forrest Smith. He did the diver, and at the line, did he make that stick? He did.
Wow.
Absolutely floored there. Hopefully we can catch this replay before the session exchange. Nope, we can't.
Oh, man. That was a good set nonetheless. He made it work, and I didn't know if Forrest Smith was going to be able to do it or if Anna Sogak was going to round it up coming out of 4, but didn't quite get it. And now Anna Sogak is in the last chance qualifier.
Yep. And let's start this one off with letting you know where your favorite driver may be starting. Ryan Olsen is going to be in the first spot with Garrett Grant in second. Andrew Ayers in third, Justin Anna Sogak in fourth. We got Christian DeBoer, we got Ryan Nowicki, then Dawson Miller seventh, Ben Pierce eighth, and then Jeffrey Wilson, Scooby-Doo Rutrow on the last position. And again, per our race details, 10 laps LCQ, and help me out here. Oh yeah, one guy's going home. That's it. So last place is the only place you don't want to be.
Yeah, that would be tragic if you're that last person. But I do have an update from Jacob Bell, the man that created this whole ordeal for the 5th annual area fundraiser event. Said total amount so far is $569.16.
Excellent.
Pretty good.
Of course, again, look in the description, the pinned comment, as well as I'll put up that QR code one more time. And again, that would be a way. People always ask, how do I take a picture of a QR code when I'm on the phone that I'm watching? I'm on the device I'm watching. If you screenshot a QR code, you can go into your photo library and then click on the QR code. Little life hacks here from an old guy. So there's always a way to read the QR code.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Kind of love technology.
It was a TikTok that I watched where some girl actually had to figure that conundrum out, and the comments actually taught me that. So TikTok is not a total cesspool, but that's a podcast topic, and we got a race to cover. We got 10 laps at Charlotte. Who is going to be the Lone Ranger coming home? We'll find out, but Olsen gets the whole shot, and who's putting it in the fence? That's Anna Sogak ripping it, and who's that going around? That is DeBoer.
Oh, Christian DeBoer is already in the spot you don't want to be in. We got a wreck. Anna Sogak into the outside wall. Ryan Nowicki there as well. And the caution is indeed out. So we had a lot go on that first lap.
And just again, for the record, caution laps will not count here in the heat races. They will count in the main finale in just a little bit here. Let's see, 75 came down, and then the 47 kind of just got squished together there. But then what happened up here, 75 kind of little light shunt into the 88, and 74 Nowicki really had nowhere to go. But good thing about going so slow there, Hunter, is when you're going slow, the damage doesn't accrue that much.
Oh, unless you're Christian DeBoer, that looks pretty bad. But Ryan Nowicki, he took a good lick of that outside wall. Very intrigued into seeing what will happen next.
Oh, okay, so I will have to turn the ticker off right now. And the reason I have to turn the ticker off is it's just a inevitable flaw, so to speak, with telemetry in these races where the caution laps don't count. The stats just kind of go all over the place. So what you see, this should be the running order. Again, Ryan Olsen, dominate. He got the whole shot. He has the lead. And Justin Anasogak is in the pits. 1 lap down, so he may be, and not what I would have expected, but he may be the go or go homer. Unless a miracle happens.
Very well could happen. I mean, we still have 10 laps left. We didn't complete the first lap, so we still have 10 in the books. And Garrett Grant going to be restarting on the outside lane. See if he can channel his inner Larson line on that outside lane.
Let's see what happens here coming through turn number 4. We have now 9 cars strong, so as things stand, everybody is going to make it, and let's just race for track position for the feature. But green flag in the air. Somebody, I think that's Nowicki, has an expired engine, so that'll put us down to 8, but with attrition, he still should be fine in the feature. And let's see what happens up front. We got the 893 a little bit slideways, opening the door for Garrett Grant.
Yeah, Grant's still on that outside lane. Olsen going to slam the door shut. And we got contact in the back. DeBoer and Eli Green. And actually, no, that's not Eli Green. That's Jeff Wilson. Wilson slicing and dicing his way through the field. DeBoer down in 7th again. Meanwhile, Wilson, he's trying to take 3rd away from old Andrew Ayers.
Yeah, we got guys using all of this racetrack here. There was a lot of debate on what racetrack to use. Should we use USA Speedway, which is large? Should we go to Bristol? Set here on the Charlotte dirt track, and I think that is a very good choice. Nice and wide, allows drivers to utilize a lot of different lanes, put on some great racing. So I think a great choice by the admin to send us here to Concord, right outside the property of the big speedway, which you'll actually see in some of the shots here. But side by side, Ayers to the bottom. You got Dawson Miller to the outside. That's Grant. I think the fence may be the line of choice there, Hunter.
Well, yeah, being the Larson fan, you got to run the fence if you're old Garrett Grant there, and he's doing a good job keeping up with Ryan Olsen and starting to build a gap between himself and Jeff Wilson all the way up to 3rd after his contact with Christian DeBoer. As there's a good look of how close they are getting to the wall and how close they are to skimming it.
Right up there, maybe giving themselves a lane right now. There's a pseudo cushion that builds up a little on iRacing. It kind of develops a little bit different, but you'll feel something that keeps you off the wall, gives you some momentum. But right now they are certainly finding that speed on the top of the racetrack. Again, we don't have a cutoff spot to be had. Anasogak is all but out of the race, and Nowicki also basically out of the race, but he's an 8, so that's good. But here comes Garrett Grant right to the back bumper. In fact, in the back bumper. Hard to pass him when he's ripping the wall, but I have to imagine we're going to see a diver here.
He's trying to do it here with 3 to go. He's going to slam the door shut on Olsen. He might tap the wall, but here comes Olsen on the bottom, and Jeff Wilson trying to make his way through.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson sees a bolt in the fence. Wall riding, quite literally, are the top 2 in that 85. Well, you guys will wall ride. I'll just kind of rip the bottom here right on the tire, see where I blend into things. Well, that didn't quite work out, but Olsen really losing control, tank slapping it on exit.
You know what? Anasogak's actually still in the field as Wilson's riding the wall because Nowicki just went down to 9th, and that was it. Holy Toledo, that was it. Garrett Grant won. Wow.
Yeah, we lost track of the laps there looking at what was happening.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, he kind of did the old come back out and I need to run one more lap than you, and that gets you in the event. So good thinking by Anasogak to take advantage of that. Now, I was going to play a national anthem, but, well, we do. We have a warm-up, so perfect time. Again, seems kind of appropriate on the night. Let's go ahead and pay homage to our country with our national anthem. Okay, never mind. That file got corrupted. So we will carry on with a 2-minute warm-up. I swear I had a file, but I must have overwritten it when I was scurrying to put today's broadcast together. So I do apologize for that. But again, if you're joining this broadcast late, this is the 5th annual Area iRacing fundraiser event, raising money for the raising money for the, help me out again,
The Lake Norman Humane Society.
Lake Norman Humane Society. That was a society that was quite affiliated by Greg Biffle, who we lost, so it's kind of a double whammy there to support it, A, because it's a good cause, but B, it's also a way to kind of pay homage to the Biff and what he did for them, as well as just being a patriarch in humanitarianism there. So again, multiple ways to donate to that, and also again, a fun way to start the area iRacing season off. I mean, what was it, October or so, Hunter, when we finished up with the Florida State Builders Pro Series and a photo finish with Sebastian Marin getting that championship, and we've been dormant and itching to see this series back on the track.
I think it might have been earlier than that. I think it was mid-August.
Maybe so. Time does blend in, but yeah, it's been months and months, and there's been, when are we coming back? When are we seeing cars on the racetrack? I mean, even our Discord logo here turned into a just black because there was no light on here, so to speak. So anything area iRacing, seeing it on the track is exciting news, and you can follow the social medias, the website. You saw the teaser of what's to come, a new logo, a rebranding of sorts. And we await for the final announcements of what will be coming in the future. But what's coming in the future right now is a 60-lap feature event here at the Charlotte Dirt Track, of which let's get our starting lineup had. Starting today's main event off is going to be Tyler Jackson on the front row with Ryan Zabot in second, Jeremy Vaughn in third with Jacob Cannon in the fourth position. Fifth, we have Ryan Swan, Carter Coop in sixth, Alan Elwood in seventh with Eli Green in eighth, and rounding out our top 10, Brad Slaughter and the Antarctic native of Easton Reedner.
That's a new one for me. Nico Garcia going to roll off 11th. Danny Ware 12th. And this number 35 car. Joseph Swan 13th. Dylan Cool keeping it cool, calm, and collected at 14th. 15th is Jacob Bell. 16th, Forrest Smith, the Arkansas native. 17th is Garrett Grant. 18th is Ryan Olson. 19th, Jeff Wilson. 20th, Dawson Miller from South Carolina. Christian DeBoer, also from Antarctica, apparently. 21st. Ben Pierce, 22nd. Andrew Ayers, 23rd, and Justana Sogak, 24th. And that is the final entry into our 24-car main event. 60 laps. Caution laps will count. And it's all about having fun and raising money. And we'll get another update here in just, well, actually, Jacob Bell's racing, so I'm not sure what update we'll get. But we got a little special some going on in the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, you wanted them 3 abreast. I tried to do it. We're doing a 3-wide, so a 4-wide salute. I used to know the World of Outlaws slogan.
You wanted him 3 abreast, you got him 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. This is the 5th annual area fundraiser event at the dirt track at Charlotte. Who's ready to go racing for 60 laps of high-flying, 4-wide beating and banging, fender clunking action at the dirt track at Charlotte? Let's go, baby!
Let's get ready to rumble! There's our YouTube short clip for the day. Are we going green 4-wide?
No, absolutely not. That would be too much chaos. Half the field will be done.
But again, 24 cars strong here. We extend the grid time just a little bit. I told Jacob I was going to do a national anthem, and again, I lost the file, apparently, on the fly here. So this is our homage to our country. Now we will get doubled up here. That's the screenshot photo that the league will hopefully put on the poster for how this race goes. But there's also going to be another screenshot after the race, and that's going to be the winner, which, again, we're racing for prize. Well, we're racing for pride. We're racing to support something here, but you also just want to win. Doesn't matter if there's a penny on the line or a poster. You want to win it, and who's it going to be?
Also, got to give a special shout out to Travis Beckner. I know he wanted to be a part of this event. Couldn't quite be at it tonight. He's at the Hendry County Motorsports Park over in Clewiston, Florida. And right there on your screen is all the info you need about the World of Outlaws heading to the southernmost dirt track in all of America. It's a $50 one-day ticket, $95 two-day event for February 20th and 21st, I do believe. You can call the number 863-675-888 between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday, or you can text the number 863-801-4132. Tickets are selling fast. There's only 100 seats that are available in the brand new seating section. Let me get it. I got the seating section right here. Section E. Only $40 per night. That's the reserved seating over in Turn 3. And dry camping is also available for the weekend at $100. So make sure you get your tickets fast, because they're going to be gone in a couple of days if you don't call the number or text the number or get your tickets. Make sure you get them. The World of Outlaws and the Hendry County Motorsports Park.
Of course, always fun to see some dirt racing, and also good to support a sponsor that has always been a big aspect of the area iRacing sanction. But let's get ready to rumble, quite literally, here at the dirt track at Charlotte. 60 laps to get our fundraiser event finished up. Let's see who's going to get it. To the bottom of the track is Tyler Jackson, the Hooters car to the outside. He's going to slide up the track is the Hayden. Do we make it a whole lap is the question.
Oh, they're sideways back there through the back stretch and through 3 and 4. Every lane is being used all the way from the bottom to the top of the wall. And we get through the first lap just fine. But look at these boys fan out. I said it, 3 and 4 wide. You can run any lane here at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yes, you can. The top seems to be advantageous, but just when the top gets clogged up, that gives you more reason to run the bottom of the racetrack. But up front, you can do whatever you want because you're not clogged up. But where you are clogged up, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, the 20, they're kind of leading the charge. The 8 down to the bottom, that's Brad Slaughter. Cartoon Network to the top, that is Eli Green. And Easton Reedner, Carter Coop. And thus far, everyone facing the right direction. That's more than I expected.
I want to give a special shout out to Brad Slaughter as well. This is the first area event he's taken a part of where he is now a father in the off season. Him and his fiance, I do believe wife now, apparently, they had a baby in the off season. So shout out to Brad doing it for his daughter, running inside the top 10. I know it's been a lot of sleepless nights for him, but he's been able to get the 8 car ready to go here at the dirt track at Charlotte, and almost lost it coming out too.
Yeah, but a lot of times I'll say as a father, when the lady lets you race, you better do well because you need to make it worth it. So he's currently in 9th. The top 10 is no slouch, but obviously wants a little bit more, but still early in the affair. We've been green flag ever since. Everybody, 3, 4 wide. You still see some 2, 3 wide towards the back of the pack. Give everybody some love. Anna Sogak, who had that amazing call to put himself in the feature. The other driver, Nowicki, unfortunately, the lone driver going home. But Tyler Jackson driving off and, ripping on the bottom of the racetrack. You can see some wear at certain points there, Hunter. Again, that affects the grip mainly on corner entry.
Yeah, and he's built a big enough cushion where he can just do whatever he wants, really. See the dirt being kicked up from the camera well over there in turn 3. Getting close on lap traffic. Andrew Ayers is quite off the pace, so he'll be the first car that Tyler Jackson encounters when trying to lap him. There he is ripping the top in the number 75. But Ryan Zabot and Jacob Cannon duking it out for 2nd and 3rd. A little further back, here's Joseph Swan in the 66 and Jacob Bell right below him. This is the battle for 12th on the track.
And I see a little smoke ahead. That could just be dust. Could be dust and smoke. Could be combine the 2 words together. For some reason, my English can't put that together at this moment. But Elwood, he's been on screen a lot, as well as the 5. That's the actual Kyle Larson 5 of Elwood. And that's our lapper. Just talked about him. That's Andrew Ayers. Dead center middle of the track. It is hard to get a dirt car situated in the proper direction. I can tell you that from experience. And yeah, he just had some trouble all by his lonesome.
Yeah, something must have happened to him because he's got damage already from the rear, and then he just loses it there in the middle of 1 and 2. Finally goes around on the exit. Not what you want to see if you're coming out turn 2 full speed ahead, but that's our first yellow of the night.
And back of his car says old timer, so I guess he can use that as his excuse if he so chooses to. But all joking aside, but 11 laps in, so we made it 1/6 distance. I won't calculate that as a percentage because my mathematical skills aren't able to compute as such. But we saw Jackson get a huge lead here, so really he seems to be the dirt guy. I mean, every series has, every kind of dirt, every kind of discipline there. That's what I'm looking to say. Has the driver who just excels at it. You know, every league has the road specialist. Every guy has the super speedway guy. And evidently the dirt guy, at least at this point, seems to be Jackson.
Yeah, he's been running away with it. And do want to apologize to Brad. It's his wife. Not girlfriend, not fiance. It's the next thing up. The best thing possible for him. His wife. And his baby girl, who's named is Amelia, and that is after the race car that Dale Jr. ran from 2014 to 2016, I believe, the one where he won a couple super speedway races. So everything's come full circle for Brad Slaughter. Big Dale Jr. fan and all. Happy for him, his wife, and racing for his daughter as we're about to get back underway. Coming across, going to be 13 laps completed with Zabo and Tyler Jackson on the front row.
Yeah, the green flag is really going low to cut that there. They're trying to get that straight shot off the corner, and Jackson will take full advantage of that. Taking full advantage is Jacob Cannon getting second, kind of stacked up the inside lane. Little contact from the back of Cannon to the front of Zabo here, and they'll go door to door, as well as Coop and the three of Jeremy Vaughn.
I got a little tight there on corner exit, but Carter Coop has made his way to the top 5 on board with Eli Green. Actually, that's Ryan Swan down on the bottom near Eli Green. He's closing in on the top 5. I think he's one spot outside of that, but you can see behind him he's got cars trying to get below him. There's Eli Green on the outside. There's Easton Reiner right below him trying to take that spot away. And then behind them, Alan Elwood and Brad Slaughter duking it out inside the top 10.
Just that top 10 spot there, and it shifts place here. Slaughter is in it right now. Danny Ware just outside of it in that bright green car, and he is in the middle of a kerfuffle of cars here. Joseph Swan in the Biff car. He is in the middle of what is now 3 wide. Jacob Bell ripping it right on the bottom. Gives you the shortest distance, and the 15 of Forrest Smith.
Spins through 1 and 2. The yellow is back out.
Advertised here, so that's not the way that you'll get a sponsor there, but I guess it's still TV time nonetheless. Let's try to see what happened here. Into the wall or just the 83. Just a little bit of contact to the left rear. That's Dylan Cool there, I believe. Our second caution of the race here, lap number 18. Fuel and tires here on the dirt. They mean... Well, let me take that back. Fuel means nothing here, but tires, there is tire wear here, modeled on the iRacing dirt surfaces now, but tire changes will not be something that we consider, so it will be on the racetrack for the duration unless you get some damage to repair.
Indeed, we're already about a third of the way done in our first race back from a long time for area iRacing. A lot of exciting things to come. But this is to kind of just get back into the rhythm of things and have a little fun. We got some dirt track activities going on and decided to settle with the dirt track at Charlotte. It's a very interesting track, to say the least. Like I mentioned, me and Jacob and Garrett Grant, all the guys, we went to this track back in May. Well, we went to Charlotte Motor Speedway, but across the street we parked next to the dirt track and next to the drag strip. That thing is huge, bigger than what I anticipated. Everything's better in person, and I would like to see a race at this facility in person one day.
Yeah, absolutely. This track would be one of the few tracks that is of the stature that could hold, really any tier of racing. Hell, if they wanted to take NASCAR Cup cars to a 4/10 of a mile, I'm not saying they should, but it could. This place, SMI Dirt Tracks, put together really well, put some good racing on, good amenities for the fans, as well as the virtual side. We're seeing some good stuff here, and the green flag back in the air, and again, they fan out 3-4 wide, these chaotic restarts, Hunter.
Yeah, they make sure every part of the track is used at some point during the restart, and whether that be all the way on the outside or all the way on the bottom, you can... Oh, we got a spin already. Oh, car in the back get T-bone. The yellow has come
Dawson
back out.
Miller,
I think that was
Dawson and
Ayers.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Ayers and Dawson Miller. Miller spun out, and then Ayers just kind of got whiplash right at the very last moment.
Let's see here, a little bit of a tap from the 85, put the 47 around, and yeah, just nowhere to go for Ayers. Just got the contact. You mentioned whiplash there, and Perfect segue. Again, our sponsor, well, rather our camera provider here on the evening is Whiplash SimCam. So if you do like what you see in terms of your camera perspective, check out Whiplash SimCams and check them out on Facebook. Andrew Cardinale does some good work in a lot of cameras for a lot of different racetracks here. So always appreciative of what he does there as we close in on the halfway point. Again, 24 drivers started, and the only driver off the lead lap is Ayers, and I don't think we have free passes on because that's not a thing in any other motorsport besides NASCAR. So he's gonna have to fight to get that lap back.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun challenge for that to happen. Not sure how well that's gonna go for him, but there's only one way to find out. That's through a restart, which we'll get, I believe, next time by. Like I mentioned, Carter Coop, he's up to 4th now. Easton Reedner also up there. Ryan Zabot has fallen down to the 6th position. Eli Green 7th. Brad Slaughter running 8th. Alan Elwood 9th. And then Ryan Swan also starting to fade a little bit towards the back half of that top 10. And his brother Joseph not too far behind him.
Yeah, indeed. And then you have Anna Sogak, who started basically last here in the race. He's got himself up to 16th. So working his way up. I mean, what would be the ceiling he'd shoot for? Maybe a top 10 at, I would say, would be a good shoot for him for where he started in the event. But Tyler Jackson tried to pull off as close to the perfect race as possible, but Jacob Cannon to his outside and really getting tight there, trying the best to get the best jump, but you can't time that jump. Down to the bottom, straight shot, gets himself a 0.2 of a second hole shot, and now 3rd place, going for 2nd. That's Vaughn taking the spot.
Yeah, Coop all the way up on the outside lane, and saw Eli Green there get a little squirrely on the bottom. He's going to lose quite a bit of positions, but Cannon on the outside, Vaughn on the inside. There's Coop still rolling it deep on the outside lane. He's up to 4th, and then Ryan Zabot back in 5th.
As everybody just feeds on through here, turns 1 and 2. You can see 4, are we 5 wide? Potentially. We are 5 wide here in the middle of the pack, and that ain't gonna work, or will it? So far, we've got it down to a paltry 3 wide, and there it goes.
Oh, there we go! Spinning off of 4. 1 car's around.
That is Swan. You had just mentioned him. And commentator's curse, perhaps. But, I mean, what's to be expected? There was the 5 wide that we saw, the 66 down to the bottom.
He just drove into the side of the car on his outside, and I think fortunately no one hit him.
One more perspective of it. He just kind of really had no control of the car, and unfortunately for him, there was somebody there.
And Sogak was the 88 car. He clipped him just a tad bit. That was Dylan Cool that he got into on the corner exit of turn 4. It's another caution and another chance for drivers to try and regroup and try to take down the 8 of Tyler Jackson. I mean, since the start of this one, he's just been the man to beat. I think he's led every lap, too.
Now, let's see. We've run 28, complete 28, yeah. So the perfect race still on the table for him. Again, just to kind of cover our odds and ends here, that is the QR code on the screen for the Lake Norman Humane Society. You can take a screenshot of that, use the link in the description as well as the chat that is on the YouTube side. I'm sure it's probably on the Twitch side as well if you are over there. And again, as you kind of alluded to on the start of the race, Hendry County Motorsports Park, get your tickets for the World of Outlaws event heading there. You can message the you can call the number there, and if you can't get a call, you can text, and you can get yourself a seat for the greatest show on dirt. I know they must be heading to a lot of new tracks this year. Obviously heading to Hendry County. I know Kenny Wallace has been pushing them there at Federated Auto Parts, so always fun seeing new tracks get some top-tier motorsport.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's February 20th and 21st. Friday night, Saturday night, 863-675-8888. That's the number to call for Kelly. And if you can't get through to her, 863-801-4132. Tickets are going fast. Only 100 reserved for turn 3 in section E at 40 a night. So you get a good deal there as we're back green. Tyler Jackson, again, good launch, and everybody 3 and 4 wide behind him trying to navigate their way towards him.
Yeah, the 01 is absolutely sent it on in there. Not sure what the intent was or where it was going to go, but it worked at least a little bit. I could see the bottom of the track starting to become more advantageous. Not sure if the top's starting to lose its luster with how much it's been worn in. The 10 all the way down left front in the grass as we have another caution. That is Dylan Cool in the 83. I don't know if he's parking it or what. Going into the pits, I think that left front is not left fronting anymore.
Yeah, we'll have to get a look at a replay, and it looks like Eli Green might have helped him a good bit. And that is the reason for our, what is this, our 6th caution of the night, 7th caution, somewhere around there?
Something or yeah, that left front not left fronting anymore is, again, just the Charlotte dirt track, an interesting little tidbit of it. It was built before iRacing could realistically accommodate exterior pit roads. So in the Charlotte dirt track in the real world, it would have exterior pits, but the sim couldn't handle that at the time in a realistic way, so they just had to kind of hodgepodge some kind of pit road in the infield here, which, as you can kind of tell from the top-down perspective, not really a real pit road to have here, so making do with what we got.
Yeah, that's one way to go about it. But noticing Carter Coop, he's still trying to get around people on the outside, but Reedner and the number 10 car, I think of Zabot, they were close nose and tail. They almost had an incident going through 1 and 2 one of the times, and Brad Slar's been closing in, so him and Alanella, they've been making their way towards the top 5, and that 10 and 7, keep an eye on them on this next restart.
Now they're right in the middle of the pack, and obviously the 0-1 of Cannon, that blue car to the outside. He knows exactly what Tyler Jackson's going to do. He's going to go about middle of 3 and 4. He's going to cut to the bottom, get the straight shot off, but it's just so hard to time that, and it's so hard to replicate that. He's really been struggling to stay with the 8. We'll see if maybe he can dial something in here as we come through 3 and 4. Taking lap number 37. We are past the halfway point here in our feature event here, and there's the move right on cue, and as I said, so hard to follow it. He managed to stay close, but let's keep an eye on that battle you were talking about.
Yeah, as we're back, Green closing in on 20 laps to go, 3 and 4 wide again through 1 and 2. Brad Slar did not get a good jump. He actually makes contact with Elwood down the back into 3. Everybody's all bottlenecked up from about 6th on back as Tyler Jackson still ran away with it.
Down on the inside, we see some major dives down to the inside of the track as we fan out here, trying to get them all in shot. Reeder really making the inside work. Bottom 3 wide. That's Vaughn in the middle, and that is Coop to the top of the racetrack, trying to make something happen here. This is essentially for second. That's whatever you want to call it. Cannon has second. Very erratic dive line that he's having. I'm not sure if it's really working. It's really kind of hurting him on corner exit.
And he's got Carter Coop rolling on that outside, trying to get around the 0-1. He's giving him problems on board with Coop, rolling through 1 and 2. And Tyler Jackson taking it easy on the bottom, almost got hit by the 0-1. Here comes Coop. Massive run out of 2.
Yeah, that interesting diver move. I've never really seen it before, but it's, gives you the corner entry. It scares the guy in front of you, but it really hurts you on corner exit. All the while, Tyler Jackson pulling away. Just, let's kind of get a perspective of what Jackson's seeing when that move is played. How close is he actually getting? I guess now he's got enough of a gap. Maybe he can kind of take his corner without flinching.
Yeah, slow and steady on the bottom through the turns, and just like that, we're below 20 to go. We're at 19 now, and we got a wreck on the front stretch. Hard into the outside wall of the 35. He's going to get hit, and we got cars flying in the air here at the Charlotte dirt track. They're still piling in. The caution is out.
That was Ryan Swan, who just absolutely annihilated Anna Sobak. Say that one 10 times fast. That's...
Boy, oh boy, he got up in the air a good bit. Dawson Miller nowhere to go. Jeff Wilson trying to get through as well. That happened off turn 4 and almost carried into turn 2.
Yep, and then obviously, it's hard on an asphalt track to get the car pointed and, figure out how to evade wrecks, but especially on dirt where you're already sideways intentionally, there really is no changing direction of the vehicle mid-corner here. If you're going to hit it, you're going to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. There was nowhere to go for a lot of those guys, and that's going to bunch the field back up. But Carter Coop, again, he's been close enough to get around those guys in second and third, but just has not been able to do so. Slaughter and Elwood, they almost lost it entirely going through the backstretch and into three. That bound things up for a bit, but going to corral everyone back together and see what they can do on this next run.
Yep, again, the outside restart for Cannon has just been absolutely terrible, but just that's kind of the nature of it. And I guess if you even think about it, for third place, where the 8 is going, the only person that can really take advantage of it is him, because you think even the 52 down to the inside, or the 7 down to the inside, he can't straight shot off the corner there because just the way the angles work. So the 8 really taking advantage of it, and I imagine he'll do the same this time.
Indeed, as we'll get the 15 lap to go mark this time through. Tyler Jackson on the inside gets the good jump again, and everybody else is going to try and chase him. We got actually half the field with him and half the field staggered going into one.
There's the inside. Now let's see if anybody's going to have any chance at Jackson. They can't battle too long side by side, but you know, you got to get the positions where they can as this track wears in, gets slicker. You see drivers on the top, you see them on the bottom. Don't want to see them in the middle because that's where the least amount of grip is. You can see our leaders rim riding, or rather white line ripping. I can't say it. They're on the inside of the track, but plenty of drivers ripping, trying to get whatever they can off that cushion.
Yeah, they're rim riding on the outside lane, and then they're babying it on the bottom. Jackson's still leading, and it's Reedner and Cannon still second and third, swapping positions back and forth, and Zabot behind Coop trying to get around him. Then in the back you see that is Elwood, Slaughter, Jeremy Vaughn has joined the mix, and there's Jacob Bell and Joseph Swan, and they're going to go around.
Why is
they're
it
both into the infield?
Everybody I focus on gets wrecked. I think that's the third camera change that we've seen a spin on, and unfortunately for Jacob, it's not going to cause a caution. We saw it live. I won't cut to a replay. We just saw that contact happen, but I think we know the fastest way on the racetrack right now is right absolute slow rolling the inside, and there goes the slider, the diver from the 1, but we now are under caution, and it is Eli Green in the 21 Cartoon Network, which I don't even think exists anymore, actually, if I recall.
His front bumper doesn't exist anymore either.
He just got loose on his own, and actually the 56 of DeBoer got the worst. Tire. Those tires are not movable. They are bolted into the earth, and obviously that did not work for you fans of the Cartoon Network car of Eli Green, but that'll put us sub 10 laps to go. I'm not positive of the green-white checker situation. I would imagine we have at least one on the table. I think it was 3 in our regular season, but I feel like we may need some of them.
Oh, we might get them. I'm not sure if green-white checker is on the table or not, but we'll have to see what the final 10 lap stint has in store for us. But Tyler Jackson, I still think he's led every lap.
So we've run 9 to go. That means we've run 50. So somebody else has led a lap, if my math is right. No. But I don't know where that would have happened. So we'll figure it out. Oh, connection issues. Oh, don't have that be the way you lose this race there, Tyler. But we did see there, obviously, very big extremes, Hunter. The inside of the track, obviously, Jackson has been slow riding the inside. But Cannon, in his very aggressive style, he was making that cushion line. He was ripping the wall with momentum and actually getting closer. Makes you wonder, how long can the 8 hold that inside late? Is he going to have to change lines?
No doubt he'll probably have to change lines, but which line do you prefer? Because if you're on the bottom, you can't really baby it too much, and if you're on the outside, you got to rim ride and hope that the 8 has a mistake on the bottom, because if you go too high up, you're going to all up in that wall, and then you're in the marbles, and it's going to be challenging to get around. But we'll see what this restart has with 7 laps to go at the line.
That's the best job that Cannon has done on a restart, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't good enough, and it still opened the door for Reedner down to the inside. Again, slow roll on the bottom. Will the top make some momentum. Not that time by, but perhaps it'll take a lap or two to get wound up. Can the 7 make something happen there? As there goes Brad Slaughter trying to force his way under the 10 of Zabot.
He's going to make contact with him again going into turn 1, and he's really babying it now, as there's a multitude of drivers on that outside lane. They're all flying around the 8, and Carter Coop's still behind the 1 of Cannon. Here comes Riedner on the bottom trying to take second away.
Yes, he is. Riedner trying to take second away, and he will, but now the 01 has kind of figured something out, I think. Again, he's doing that interesting dive line, but now he's lost a spot. He's going to do the dive line, and he's going to get into the 7. Can the 7 save it? They're dooring off each other. They're trying to save each other. To the inside is Coop, and now we've lost it.
Trying to save it going to the turn 1. Got guys going through the grass.
Oh, my goodness.
Back up.
What
That
a
is
rejoin.
insane.
What a rejoin. And somehow we evaded, but now we did not evade in the back of the pack. Ayers again.
Ayers and Eli Green, I saw, were the last 2 that were a part of that picture. We'll get a better view of it from our replay.
Oh, yeah. 21 was sideways, and again, we talked about change of directions not being easy. Well, he was already set on running the center, and that's where the car was, so is what it is, but a very tough break there for Riedner, who was in second, and obviously him and the 01, they couldn't. Whoa, hi.
Oh, man, this is for a good cause now, and we got tempers flaring in 3 and 4 between the 01 and the 7. They were second and third for the majority of this race, but not anymore. Don't know what to make of that, but Jeremy Vaughn, he's up to second. Ryan Zabot up to third. Alan Elwood, through the chaos, he's in fourth, and Carter Coop is still in fifth after all that.
Yeah, top 5, not slouchy at all here. Again, dirt tracks, local dirt track racing is where you come out with the best and the worst of drivers. As people get into it, as we may have free passes on because Forrest Smith ripping around the outside here. We will get put into overtime, so we will have at least 1 green-white checker on the table. My guess is that we probably have 3. And that's kind of the standardization that we usually are used to. So if we get to the white, we'll make it to the checkers, but if we don't make it to the white, then of course we'll rack them and stack them one more time, Hunter. But 8 is basically holding on to the perfect race, but for the first time, we have a different driver to the outside trying to stall him down.
Yeah, we'll see if Vaughn has anything for Jackson here on this restart. Could be the last one of the night, who knows? And they're rolling through the gears, and we're back green from the dirt track in Charlotte with just 2 laps remaining.
Can we make it to the checkered flag in one piece is the $1 million question. And the $2 million question is, does anybody have something for our race leader? And the answer to that question so far is a resounding no. As we come off the corner, Barney has the flag in hand. Will he change flags at all? No, he's going to keep the white in hand. And let's go one more lap around Charlotte.
Vaughn trying everything he can on the outside lane. Zabot right behind as well. It's not going to be enough, though. They're going to roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, but the man to beat, they just couldn't do it. Tyler Jackson through the bottom, through 3 and 4 for the final time. He wins the area 5th annual fundraiser race, and we got carnage coming out of 4.
Yeah, we have humongous oh my Lanta. I have a vibe. Is this just last lap? Let's just absolutely have some fun with it. I would imagine so, but this is our turn 4 camera. Or not. But either way, congratulations go to our winner, Tyler Jackson. I will try to get some perspective of that last lap incident. The last lap, just utter chaos.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, oh, Barney has a good hand of this, so let's just watch Barney.
I think they were trying to give him a high five. I think that was the issue.
All right, this is coming to 3 and 4. There's contact for 3rd, and now we're just all wadded up. And now I think it's just, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is a fun run. Let's just funnel an ARCA brake our way through and see how much the damage bottle can emit debris. on the fly. So that's just some fun racing. But again, congratulations go to Tyler Jackson, who gets himself the checkered flag here in the area iRacing fundraiser event for the Lake Norman Humane Society. Let's go and give the final rundown of results here today. From Charlotte Jackson getting the win in what I believe was the perfect race. We'll validate that. Jeremy Vaughn in second, Ryan Zabot in third, Jacob Cannon in fourth, Easton Riedner in fifth, Danny Ware, Justin Anasoga, Christian DeBoer, Garrett Grant recovered quite well, as did the 83 of Dylan Cool to finish 10th.
Yeah, top 5 stayed the same, but 6th on back, it got a little chaotic. Ben Pierce, Jacob Bell, Dawson Miller, Andrew Ayers, and Joseph Swan rounded out the top 15 with Eli Green, Alan Elwood, Brad Slaughter, Carter Coop, and Ryan Olson in the top 20.
And then our last page, just a few drivers on the stragglers. We got Jeffrey Wilson, Ryan Swan, Forrest With, and Nico Garcia, who wrapped up our finishing order here today. So we'll go right to victory lane. Hunter, I don't know if you've made it down through the booth, through the stands, onto the racetrack, but hopefully you found our winner.
Yeah, I've got mud in my shoes and in my hair, but I'm down here with Tyler Jackson. Tyler, you've dominated this whole race all night long. Take us through your thoughts on the area and their fundraiser event at the dirt track at Charlotte. Man of many words.
Let's try
See
one
if we
more.
can get Tyler back in.
We haven't had to dial our walkie-talkies in a while.
All right, let's see. Tyler, are you here?
All right.
Tyler was so focused that he's still trying to catch his breath because he can't believe he led all 60 laps tonight.
All right. Well,
try it one more time.
Well, we'll try.
Tyler, do you read me? Over.
Well, let's try Jeremy. Make sure Jeremy's here. We don't have a Discord room issue. Jeremy, you got us, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So it's the winner that we didn't get. But either way, you got second here in our area fundraiser race challenge here at Charlotte. Chaotic race. Just kind of summarize your night for us, how it all got you to second place.
Well, just trying to ride there for a while, to be honest with you. Tyler's always quick any race he runs. Some of these guys, like Jacob Cannon, I've raced with him a few times, but the other guys, they're all kind of new to me.
Obviously coming through the LCQ. The dirt street stock, obviously a slower car. It can kind of deal with some ebbs and flows, and we did have some contact there in the feature. But what's your experience like in this dirt street stock? How much confidence did you bring in here that you may be able to rip off a good run?
I've been on here since the COVID year, running a bunch of DSS races and some UMPs. So this is kind of my bread and butter, these cars.
Well, it's fun to see you got yourself a solid run here today. 2026 just firing off. What can we expect out of you 2026? Where we find you? What kind of cars are you going to be putting yourself in for this up and coming year?
We'll be running a lot of dirt street stocks with DWRL, Dirt Warrior Racing League. And then we run the NWRA with Eddie Farnes. And then we got to get our real car ready to start running in Oklahoma and Missouri, Kansas. We'll do a bunch of traveling this year.
All right, man. Well, good luck in your endeavors, and good to have you have a good run here tonight.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for putting this on. It goes to a good cause, and I've always been a super NASCAR fan, so that's pretty cool to see this. And we'll catch you again sometime.
Absolutely, brother. And we'll try, I guess, final call on our race winner.
See, Tyler Jackson, you read me.
Hey, I got you finally.
All right. We didn't know if you were just astounded that you led all 60 laps tonight, but you waxed the field front, back, and center. Take us through your thoughts on the night at Charlotte.
Yeah, it started out good. Laid down a pretty good lap in qualifying. Did a little testing earlier at 15% and figured out the line, and nailed the line pretty good. And heat went really smooth. During the B main, I went upstairs and took a pee, and I came back, and my VR headset was black, so I had to unhook it, reconnect, and then barely got into warm up, and my VR headset was actually backwards. So when I looked left, my screen went right, and when I looked right, my screen went left. So the entire race, I just had to keep my head completely still. if I would have been in traffic, if we would have ever got past, I probably would have had to pull off the track because I could not see. I've been using this VR for 7 years, and it was basically like I had a one monitor in front of my face, and when I would get nervous, I'd go to look left, and all of a sudden the screen would go right. So it was really tricky.
Well, no wonder why we had to wait a couple minutes for you. I'd be, I don't even know what state I'd be in if that was my situation, but nonetheless, one impressive night from you. I mean, you didn't move at all in the running order, but you waxed the field front, left, and center. Any special shout-outs you want to give out for those new to you in the area universe?
Yeah, shout out to my teammate Jeremy Vaughn, finished second. My parents are watching you guys for the broadcast. It sounded like this was a charity going to Greg Biffle's foundation of choice, and that was just a terrible accident. And I read some news or something. His house got robbed, and that's even worse. So it was really, really tough to read that too. And hopefully you guys raise some money tonight. We run these cars quite a bit. If anyone's interested in running them, Dirt Warrior Racing League, look us up. We run Mondays and Wednesday nights, and it's a lot of fun running these cars. A little bit slower, but the racing's just as good in my opinion as the fast cars.
Oh, yeah, you put on the show, and congrats on dominating tonight's 5th annual area fundraiser race. Have a good night.
All right, thank you.
All right, now I got 3rd place here, Ryan Zabot. Ryan, a solid run for you here today in our fundraiser event. You finished 3rd, and you started 2nd, so you could say not much happened there, but that wasn't the case. Summarize your night for us.
Oh, that was an eventful race. Fell back to 6th there right off the bat. Just couldn't really find a line. Couldn't find where to run and where it was quick, and really till the bottom come back in there. I'm sort of a catfish, stay on the bottom feeder type racer, and when the bottom come back in, I could move up a little bit. But man, it was sort of all over to begin the race.
And I know you had Jacob Cannon right behind you. What was it like racing around him? I know he had some crazy diver line there. That must have been interesting trying to race around and navigate.
Yeah, well, we raced all last year with Jacob in our little dirt league. Man, he's a real good driver, and I sort of know his tendencies, but he's always quick. And I know if I can follow his line, he's usually going to be pretty quick. But it was unfortunate that them 3 got together there at the flag stand, and lucky for me, I was able to sneak around them. But that was really the only reason. I think I went from 5th or 6th to 3rd right there and survived a couple of restarts. But really luck. Those guys were a little bit better than I was, especially when the track slicked off. But just happy and fortunate to get a 3rd.
All right. Well, either way, a solid run for you here today. Sometimes you got to be good, sometimes lucky. A little bit of both obviously is the ideal situation. Any shout outs, final words you want to give before we let you go?
I just thank Jacob Dawson, everybody for putting this thing on, man. It's for a good cause. And just shout out Capital Race Cars here in Cedartown, Georgia. They do a real good dirt chassis, if y'all should all look them up.
All right. Thank you for that, Ben. And good luck this season and in your endeavors.
All right. Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good night.
Now, we've had Jacob Bell popping in and out of our staging room. I don't know if he wants to have a few words, Hunter, or you may, I don't know if you know anything that I don't know.
I think we'll, I don't know. I think we'll see if old Jacob Bell can come down. See, I don't know if he's up to anything, but he was in here at one point.
Yeah, he popped in, he popped out, but some Pop-Tart in the toaster, but I guess he already ran off and ate it. So either way, from a PTR TV perspective, make sure you comment and all that fun stuff. If you haven't already donated, there's your QR code. There's your chat in the pinned. You can check the description. There he is once more. Let's just grab a wild Jacob Bell. Jacob, you're hiding in and out. Any final words as our league administrator on our fundraiser event?
Yeah, no, I was just talking to the guys down there and telling them good job up front to the top 3. And a lot of those guys actually raced in our sister league VDRA, so we were able to get some other dirt guys in here tonight. And Tyler, he actually won this race last year, so this one looked like he was a little bit more dominant this year. So we'll have to try to get some competition for the fundraiser event for him next year. But no, I just want to say I appreciate you guys broadcasting. I really appreciate all the work Primetime Racing TV's put in and Hunter's put in as well, to get this league back up off the ground, and all the help to even get it to where it got in the first place. So I contribute a lot of our success to you guys and making the show look so good. So I just wanted to say thank you, and then thank you to everybody watching and anybody that donated to the fundraiser. Again, I'm sure you guys touched on it, the tragic accident that happened with Greg Biffle and his whole family was just tough news that nobody wanted to hear around the holidays. So definitely wanted to use our annual fundraiser and try to raise some money for a cause he cared a lot about. And I found online that he had said that the Lake Norman Humane was something that him and his wife were big involved with, and wanted to make sure that any funds get donated there. So that's why we put it on tonight, and all the funds going to them. I appreciate everybody that did donate. I think we're around $600. It was like $570 when I texted Hunter before the race, right before we went green. So overall, a successful night, and again, just thank you to everybody.
Absolutely. And of course, we did our little teaser video of the logo to come, and I know you'll be updating area socials with the announcements of our 2026 campaign, and everybody can look forward to that. But appreciate what you did. We had some fun, and we look forward to seeing you in the future, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the teaser logo is our full rebrand, so we're going to post some more about that in the next few days here, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. We'll see you.
Thank you.
All right, Hunters. Well, we saw, obviously donated roughly around $600. We saw a great night. Looking forward to the future. Any final words before we wrap this up?
Not really, just a fun event. I'm so glad that we get to do this. And this was another fun charity event. The Dirt Track of Charlotte put on a whale of a show. We had some fenders flaring, fenders banging, tempers flaring, but overall it was a fun night, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for area.
As can I. We'll see what happens in the future from PTR TV. Stay tuned for our next broadcast. Triple Bypass Racing League Sunday and Tuesday. Elbows Out Racing on Wednesday. And some openings here to come, and area will be TBD, but we're looking forward to what happens in the future. But that's going to be Corey and Hunter signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.